Hi, it's Stephen Dobas from the Silva Method Toronto. So one of the things we're going to talk about today is how to use the clock technique, which is also referred to as to awaken in some of the Silva Method manuals. Now, the clock technique is something that we call a formula type technique, which means that it uses a very simple formula or recipe in order to get the results that we expect. Now, the clock technique was one of those techniques that we're going to be using regularly. Or if we're not using it regularly, I highly recommend that you do use it regularly because your sleep will be much healthier. You'll be much more balanced and relaxed every day in every way. So why would that be? Well, because the clock technique is really using your own bio clock, your biorhythm, to awaken you based on the time that you've slept and based on the stage of their sleep that you're in. So typically we will wake up naturally at the best time for us. At that time we will be rested. If we use an alarm clock or a ringer on our telephone, it wakes us up at a very specific time, but that time will not necessarily be the best time for us to wake up. So using the clock technique, your biorhythm will be waking you up regularly. Now, the clock technique is basically something that you don't have to use the Silva method, the 3-to-1 countdown for, because you're doing this the absolute last time, the last thing that you do before going to bed. Unless, of course, you're using the sleep control, which would mean that you would use the clock technique before you use the sleep control. So what would you do? Well, all you do is just before going to sleep, so when you're actually in your bed, lying down with your head against the pillow, then you'd close your eyes and visualize for yourself on your mental screen a clock. So from the side it would look like this. It's almost like I'd be visualizing it somewhere up here. I visualize for myself a clock, some type of alarm clock, which I would use for waking up. That alarm clock will be, then I'm going to set it visually. I can use my hand physically to kind of set that time. If it's a digital clock, then maybe I'll turn it. And I'm going to set it to a specific time. And then you say to yourself mentally, when you've set the time, this is, with your eyes closed, this is the time I want to wake up, and this is the time I will wake up. Now, if you're like me, you'll add something extra to it and get out of bed. So this is the time, so just to repeat, this is the time I want to wake up, this is the time I will wake up and get out of bed. All right, see you tomorrow.